He was just 14 years old, sleeping under a highway overpass in Detroit. No money, no parents, no direction. The city moved past him every day, busy, loud, indifferent. He was invisible. Today, he's the CEO of $1 million tech company, and the world knows his name. This is the story of Marcus James. He was born in Detroit, in a part of the city where empty factories outnumber grocery stores. His parents worked hard. His mom cleaned office buildings downtown, and his dad worked at an aging car plant that never quite shut down, but never really thrived either. They weren't rich, but they made do. They had plans for Marcus, college, a stable job, a better life. But life unraveled too quickly. When Marcus was 11, his father died in a machine malfunction on the factory floor. One shift gone wrong, and everything changed. His mother worked even longer hours, trying to hold everything together. But stress took its toll. Illness came suddenly, and by the time doctors diagnosed her with late-stage cancer, it was too late. She passed away when Marcus was just 13. He bounced between shelters and short-term foster placements. He tried to keep going to school, but no one could blame him when he stopped showing up. The system lost track of him, and Marcus slipped through the cracks like so many others. At night, he found corners to sleep in, train stations, stairwells, park benches. He learned where to get warm food and where to avoid trouble. But through everything, he carried a notebook, one where he wrote questions, ideas, observations. Because even if no one else saw it, he still had a mind hungry to learn. He spent hours outside the public library downtown. He'd watch through the windows as people typed, searched, created. One night, a security guard named Carla caught him sitting outside in the cold. She didn't call the police. She didn't yell. She opened the door and said, "Come in." It was the first act of kindness he had seen in months. Inside, Carla helped him get a library card. Marcus started using the public computers. At first, it was typing games and email. Then came the day he typed how to code into the search bar. He didn't understand much of it at first, but he kept at it. He borrowed programming books and copied lines of code into his notebook by hand. When computer access ran out, he practiced mentally. He memorized functions like poems. At 16, he got his first break. A local food truck owner paid him $50 to design a digital flyer. It wasn't perfect, but it was good, and Marcus had delivered. That money didn't go to clothes or food. It went to a second-hand smartphone, just functional enough to keep learning online. He launched a blog using a free platform, writing simple guides for other beginners, especially kids like him. He wrote the way people spoke, straightforward, no tech jargon, no gatekeeping. It took off faster than he expected. He saved every cent he earned, designing flyers, building small websites for barbershops, mom-and-pop stores, non-profit groups. Eventually, he was able to rent a tiny studio apartment. It wasn't much, just a mattress on the floor and an old desk, but it was the first place that was truly his. He named his startup Urban Code Works. His vision? To build mobile tools for people often left out of tech, small business owners, GED students, street vendors, hourly workers. He built apps that worked offline, designed websites that loaded fast on older phones, and made tools simple enough for anyone to use. At 19, he got invited to pitch at a youth innovation summit in Chicago. He wore a donated suit and second-hand shoes. His hands shook while he spoke, but when he finished, the room clapped. Investors saw not just his story, but his vision. With that funding, Urban Code Works expanded. He hired a small team, built better platforms, and served over 50,000 users within the first year. His story appeared in blogs, then in local newspapers, and eventually, national outlets picked it up. The teen from the streets was now a tech founder, respected, funded, and still just getting started. But Marcus hasn't forgotten. He still speaks at shelters, runs free weekend coding classes for teens, and donates refurbished laptops to public schools and youth centers. He says, "I'm not successful because I'm special. I'm successful because someone gave me a chance." Because for all of America's opportunity, it wasn't just poverty that nearly killed his future. It was being overlooked, forgotten. Today, Marcus still lives simply, still walks to work, still keeps that same beat-up notebook in his backpack, the one that held his first lines of code, drawn by hand, when he had nothing but questions and grit. He believes there are thousands more like him. Kids sleeping in stairwells with brilliant ideas in their heads. Teens working jobs they hate while dreaming of apps no one's built yet. Youth who just need someone to say, "Come in." So the next time you pass a kid huddled under a blanket, don't just look away. That might be the next Marcus James. They're not asking for a miracle. They're asking for a chance, and sometimes that's all it takes.